Hi everyone, Dr. Schmidt here. We are in 6.1. Let's go to our first guided practice activity, compound interest. So if you invest $1,000 in a mutual fund that returns an average of 9% each year, we can use this table to figure out how much money you're going to earn in that account each year. So you're starting with 1,000. In order to calculate how much interest you will earn on that $1,000, you need to turn this percentage into a decimal and multiply by that. So if we take 1,000 and we multiply by 0.09, we're going to get 90. And then to get your end amount, so that's after you've earned 9%, by the end of the year, what's your total amount at the end? You have to take your beginning amount or your beginning balance, and you have to add on the interest that you earned that year. So this way your money makes money for you just by sitting in this mutual fund account. So if we take this 1,000 and we add it to this 90, well, then we'll have $1,090. That would be wonderful. And I'm going to start filling in the beginning of this table, and I'll leave the rest for you. So in year 2, you begin with your amount from the previous year. So let's make a side note about that. Begin the next year with the previous year's ending amount. So that means we're going to put that 1,090 in the beginning of year 2 because it was the end of year 1. Once again, to calculate the interest, you multiply by 0.09. So if we multiply 1,090 by 0.9, go ahead and do that in a calculator, you get 98.10. By the way, these are all in dollars. Your money's making money. It's great. Mutual funds are nice like that. And then to get your end amount for year 2, I was saying you take your beginning amount from year 2 and you add the interest. So if you add those two numbers together, you'll get $1,188.10. $1,188.10. So I'm going to let you keep going down the table in the exact same fashion. I'm going to need this number right here to tell you something in a moment. So let me do that, and I'll leave it to you to figure out how to get this number. Just keep doing it the exact same way I was doing the second year. You're going to do that in the third, the fourth, the fifth. And moving on to part B. About how many years does it take for your money to double? Well, we started with $1,000 in the beginning. Okay. So double would mean you have to take that $1,000 and multiply it by 2. So that'll be $2,000. How long does it take to get $2,000? Well, I'll give you another piece of the table. Here in year 8, you will eventually get 1,992.56. And in year 9, you will have 2,171.89. Which of those two numbers is closest to 2,000? This one. This is closest to $2,000. And they said about how many years does it take? So it takes about 8 years. 8 years for our money to double. Okay. Is your ending balance in part C here? Is your ending balance each year a linear function, like we learned about in chapter 5? Why or why not? Well, I'll tell you right now it's no, and I'll tell you why. It does not increase by the same amount each year. Let me show you how I know that. If we go up here, from year 1 to year 2, that's an increase, a total increase of, well, if you subtract 1,090 from 1,188.10, you get $98.10. That's how much we increased. From year 2 to year 3, the increase was, well, if you subtract 1295.03 minus 1,188.10, you get 106.93. Those are not the same. If this was a linear function, the increase should be the same each time. That's what I meant down here when I said it does not increase by the same amount each year. In particular, note that from year 1 to year 2, the increase was 98.1. And from year 2 to year 3, it increased 106.93. So those are not the same. Why does the interest increase each year? So notice that. You can see that even though I've only done just the first two numbers, the increase when the interest went up. It increased. The interest went up. Why would interest increase? Try saying that 10 times fast. Why would that happen every single year? Why would you get even more interest each year? Your money's earning money. You get interest on your interest. That's a strange concept. We have a word for that. It's called compounding, or we say it compounds. That's a cool phenomenon. Your money earns money. And not only does your money earn money, the money that you earned earns more money. It's a beautiful thing. It's called exponential growth, which is something that we're going to learn about. Now, can you think of an equation in number 2 here that would compute how much you have after 10 years? Now, that's actually a warm-up and a segue into the next objective. But we can still think about some interesting observations here. The first thing I want you to notice is the factor. Remember, we learned about factors. The factor is 1.09 because the interest rate was 9%, right? The interest rate was 9%, which is 0.09 as a decimal, which means the factor is 1.09 each year. So after 10 years, we'll have multiplied by 1.09 10 times. So if you multiply by 1.09 again and again and again 10 times, essentially what you've done is you've taken your beginning amount, $1,000, and you multiply by 1.09 once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 10 times. That's the same thing as multiplying by 1.09 raised to the 10th power. So that's the way you would type it in Excel or a calculator. And the way we would read that is 1.09 with a little exponent 10. That's the way we would read that or write it by hand. So that is how you would compute how much money you have after 10 years.